person that I want to introduce to you knows everything there is to know about hair with over 46 years of experience. I mean, I know she doesn't look like it, right? She looks like she's only about 40, right? Okay. So I know it's hard to believe that she's got 46 years, but this lady is a wealth of knowledge, a highly sought after trainer. She's actually the founder of the Spectrum International Beauty Expo in Southern California. I want to introduce trichologist Doris Mosley.
I'm on. Can you hear me?
We can hear and see your beautiful face.
Well, I don't see, okay, I don't see me live, I guess. But I just want to, first of all, say to each and every one of you who was on this call last Monday, to thank you guys for your prayers and your love and support. It was very much felt during that time. It was very rough as my sister made her transition during the time of this call. Also, just want to say I thank you for your time. One thing you cannot get back time, but I always say, if you're here with us at Wakanna and you're in the SOS system, you can get your hair back, providing the follicle is still there. Wakanna say, love your roots, you guys, love your roots. And if you're loving on your roots, you're going beneath the scalp. As a result of hair care challenges, improper hair and or hair services, the need for a hair replacement and camouflage has quickly become the #1 necessary and requested service in salons everywhere. And the medical term for baldness is alopecia. And there's 3 types of alopecia. There's alopecia areata. This happens when one or more circular bald patches occur and sometimes overlap. Alopecia, this term is used to describe when you experience a complete total baldness. Well, alopecia totalis, as I said, this term is used to describe when you experience a complete total baldness of the scalp. Sometimes the eyelashes and eyebrows are affected. And alopecia universalis, this is a medical condition used to describe the loss of all body hair, including eyebrows, eyelashes, armpits, hairs, and more. We were born with over 5 million follicles. Over 100,000 of them make it to the head. And hair loss is big business, you guys, big business. It's estimated $3.6 billion in the year of 2016. Just imagine, this is 2021. 1 in 5 Americans are losing their hair. It is an epidemic. We're dealing with a pandemic, but this is an epidemic. And these are the things that contribute. Diet, what you eat is who you are. Stress, we're stressing right now. We're living in times now where stress is everywhere. It's affecting everybody, even the little children, even the pets. So it's how we deal with stress. Then medical, a lot of medical. And when we're dealing with medical, we're dealing with medication. And a lot of medication, the side effects is hair loss. Genetics, mama, daddy, or both. If both, that means it's going to be accelerated. So we have to get in front of that and slow it down. Environmental, how are we dealing with our hair? How are we styling our hair? Are we changing it? Are we dealing with that stressful traction alopecia? Are we using the wrong type of tools? Types of hair stress, chronic. That's somebody who's constantly sick. They take medication a lot and it's going to be affecting their hair. Traumatic, trauma. You can get some bad news right now and it'll affect you. It may not affect you today, but 2 or 3 months down the line, you can see that your hair is being affected. Braiding too tight. I often think about how people just sit and get their hair braided so tight until it causes stress. Ponytails, when I think of ponytails, I think a lot of little children. Parents start them out at a very early age and it just keep going. Aggressive brushing and combing. Brushing is very stimulating to the scalp and to the blood circulation of your hair. But if it's aggressive, that can be too much. Traction alopecia, look to the picture on the left. That's traction alopecia. Somewhere, someone didn't do that, young lady justice. And it is showing right there from hair braided too tight, sewing weaves on too tight, and they didn't pay attention, and our edges are pushed back to that point, and it will continue to. And it doesn't discriminate. Hair loss does not discriminate. This picture of this young lady here looks very familiar, but look at her hairline, gone. Someone didn't do her right, and that's not good. But Wakanna has done the world right if we just pay attention. SOS, saving our strands, hair care system. We got to save our strands here at Wakanna. That's what we're doing. We have put a system together that can help propel not only our business, but our hair to the next level. And we have our renewing shampoo. Our renewing shampoo, oh my God, it is so relaxing. It is so awesome. The clients love the renewing shampoo because they're saying, Doris, what does that smell? And then their noses, so they're gonna take and put their hand in their head and want to feel it. And they're like, oh man, this feels so good because it is good. It is very good. So we look at the our renewing shampoo. It has good lathering effect also. It has rosemary leaf oil, and that helps relieve the itchy scalp. Now, if you have an itchy scalp, that's not good because what you're going to do is going to keep digging, and your hair follicles lie 0.3 centimeters beneath the scalp, beneath the epidermis. So you don't want to do that. And it also improves the cellular generation. It helps deep cleanse the cuticle layer. And the cuticle layer is that first layer. And if you're not getting that cuticle layer clean, then you're just conditioning over conditioning, and soon it will dull out. And it helps get rid of the product buildup. We got to get rid of the product buildup. It has hydrolyzed wheat protein, rich in amino acids. It helps reduces hair porosity and strengthen it from within. Now, you say, I thought porosity was good. If someone say you have good porosity, that's not good because that cuticle layer is not being protected. And then we have our moisturizing conditioner. Our hair is made of two things. It's made of protein and it's made of moisture. And we don't want to over-proteinize and we don't want to over-moisturize. So Wakanna, they came with the balance of it. And that is what is so exciting. It has organic lavender flower water. It's an anti-inflammatory and it eliminates itching and dandruff, help keep the production of the sebum under control. Now, if you don't know what the sebum is, it is the oil that the body produces. Each strand has a sebaceous gland attached to it, so it brings up the sebum and help lubricate the strands. Also, anti-inflammatory. Inflammation is what's causing a lot of the challenges nowadays. So we have a product that help eliminate the itchiness and help eliminate some of the inflammation. If you ever hear Dr. Rita call, she talks a lot about inflammation because that is one of the number one leading hair loss situations. And I always say with Wakanna, they locked in a lot. These products have a lot of good ingredients and they all lock together, so one supporting the other ones. And I always have you to look at a chain. A chain is really cannot be broken that easy. And that's how these ingredients are. They support each other and it's amazing. The leave-in detangler, wow, virgin olive oil. It helps detangle, has that detangling effect. Natural balm for the hair, nourishing moisture, deep, rich in nutrients. Amazing. It also has black seed oil in it. The same as our hemp-powered hair. Hemp-powered hair has a lot. That was my baby. But, you know, I had to bring in some more children. So we have to talk about all the kids now. But our hemp-powered hair is amazing. But the detangling, oh my goodness. I had that the other day. And I know for any hairstylist on this line, you can relate. I had a client. She's an African client. And she had her weave in since November. When I tell you, it was extremely tight and tangled. And I was trying to comb it out and my arms were tired. I was mentally tired. And after about 3 braids, I said, oh my God, give me my Wakanna. I told my daughter, give me my Wakanna Detangler. And I saturated her hair with it and I let it set for a few minutes. And because I needed a rest anyway from the start. And I did, oh my goodness. You guys, I can't even begin to tell you how easy the Wakanna Detangler made it. It was such a relief. She thanked me and gave me a very good tip, you guys. She was so excited. And then I had to rebraid her after I shampooed her. She loved the shampoo. She was just so relaxed. But I was like, you have worn me out. But thank God, I told my daughter, I said, Wakanna, save me today. And after that, we got a shampoo. We put the conditioner on. She was real excited. And then I braided her in the styling cream. And I looked at my daughter again. I said, this is the bomb. I can't wait till I share this with my audience, because you got to know, we have the product. We have the product. And the oud oil, just another added attraction, because that oud oil is so, it's really good. And I mean, I don't want to sound like she's just saying that because she worked for the company. No, you got to try it yourself. I'm just saying that because it really, really worked. It's all the styling cream also, it's an anti-inflammatory. It has shea butter. It's proven healing effect without clogging the pores, and that's what you want. And see, and that's why oud oil is a part of this system now, because what it does, it's good for the hair itself. When you got something that's good for the hair, and you can put the styling cream on, see, the oud oil is not going to clog your scalp, also your pores, because it's very light. I was telling Melissa how I took that oud oil and I constantly massaged my sister as she was laying there, wasn't able to move, and she just loved it. So I know it was good for her. But the hair, people want to know, what can I put on my hair? You can also use the oud oil as a hot oil treatment. And one lady wanted to know, could she use it on her daughter? I said, sure. What you can do, if you don't have a dryer, you don't have a steamer, just put the oud oil on, put a hot steaming towel over the head and put it under a plastic cap. You will be surprised the way that hair feels after. You don't have to have dry hair. You can have hair that is soft and pliable. It is amazing how that product is. And the black seed oil, we were just talking about it. It's a natural moisture, your scalp reducing itching and dryness. You cannot walk around with an itchy scalp. You got to make sure that you have that under control. Rosemary is a natural DHT blocker. One day we're going to just spend some time on DHT. The DHT is what really choke out the nutrients that go into the hair and causes you to lose that follicle. Once you lose the follicle, you've lost the hair. Pumpkin seed oil, it helps get rid of inflammation also. Inflammation is one of the key, I'll say, devils in destroying the hair. MCT, the coconut oil, it can help speed hair growth process when combined with the other nutrients. And that's what Wakanna did. They didn't play with this, you guys. They mixed this up. People say, well, how much is the system? How much is the system? It's really not that important right now if you're trying to save your follicles, save your strands. So let's work with it first. Then you can tell me how much is the system. Moringa, it fights disease and promotes good health. And that's what you got to have. You got to have good health, you guys, because from a healthy body, it produces healthy things. Hair and nails are just appendage of skin. You got to have good. Baobab provide vitamin C and iron, and we need vitamin C. We need iron to make things happen. Peppermint promotes blood circulation. You got to have it. Blood nourishes every part of the body. Cinnamon is a great antioxidant. It goes and it just fights everything, and it's such a great ingredient to have in the product. Lemon oil is a great antiseptic. Cleanse well, cleanse the scalp, cleanse the hair. Clove reduces the rate of hair fallout and promote hair growth. Hair is going to fall out 50 to 100 strands a day. That's natural. Beyond that, it's not natural. World wild salmon. Ooh, we can't eat enough salmon, so we've had to put it inside of the product. It's omega-3s, typically omega-3s, which can make your hair shiny and stronger and reduce skin dryness that can often lead to itchy scalp or dandruff. And sometimes dandruff is just disguised as product left in the hair and on the scalp. CBD, it's in there. It brings the body back to balance. Remember I said hair follicles? There are over 5 million follicles over the entire body. At least 100,000 of those follicles make it to the head. And when you have a follicle hysterectomy, that means you won't have any more hair there. Hemp-powered hair stimulates the follicles and promote healthy scalp and hair. The follicles support and nourishes the strand. Loss of follicles means loss of hair. And most of the time you don't realize that until the hair is at least 51% gone. I just love this Wakanna bar. And once a month, starting next month, you guys, we're gonna have our beauty bar. What's gonna happen in the beauty bar? Well, we're gonna have conversations. We're gonna have testimonies. We're gonna spotlight salons. And I'm gonna turn it back to Melissa because we have somebody today that's gonna share. And it's in a testimonies form because you don't know how the product really gonna work for you if you don't work it. And it does not work in the bottle. It does not work on the shelf. It only gonna work on the hair. So, Melissa, you got it.
Wow, Doris. Oh my goodness. And while you're doing that, I actually just pulled Chris over to join the conversation. But I want to first give you your props because that was just amazing. We appreciate your knowledge, your expertise. And it's exciting to see where we're going with this Wakanna beauty bar so we can really get the conversation started with all the hairstylists all across the country and really educate and empower. You know, one of the things we love at Wakanna is we love, feedback. We love our hairstylists and our team to actually use the product and tell us how it's working for you. We had a chance to check out a Facebook Live video last week, and one of our phenomenal celebrity stylists was actually doing a Wakanna Wednesday, Doris, which I thought was just so much fun, where all his clients were coming in, and guess what? They were getting the Wakanna treatment. And this is exciting, guys, because just know that our product line will keep evolving, right? We know there's different types and textures of hair, and we want to make sure we can include everyone. But it's really great when we get put to the test and we actually have our products put on so many different types of hair. And so what I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to give him his proper introduction because he is an international beauty expert and really brings a unique blend of artistry and expertise to the hair care industry. In fact, do you know that he's done workshops for stylists in Europe, South Africa, the United Kingdom? And what I'm really excited about, he's actually consulted a lot of these beauty care experts. We're talking about Clairol, we're talking about even fashion fair cosmetics, and so many more. Without any further ado, Chris Kirst, hey, we want to hear from you today because you had Wakanna Wednesday. You sent the internet on fire. And we know you know all about these products. In fact, I'm coming on a Wakanna Wednesday, okay? So
yeah. Awesome. I thank you so much for that great introduction. And Doris, again, you've been in my heart and prayers. I haven't seen you since I was visiting a while ago at one of those shows, but
Exactly.
I know with Amazon, yes. I know. So what a treat. I'm so glad to see you here. And I absorbed everything that you were saying, and I have so much gratitude to Melissa, and then also Shannon King was the mastermind behind my opportunity to create my Wakanna Wednesdays, and actually she instigated the Facebook Live moment because I said, hey, I want to really check everything out and kind of give it my, seal of approval, if you will, and just be able to understand it more so that I can explain it more. Because, sometimes as stylists, we've got a broader perspective or a grander way that we use products. But sometimes for home maintenance products, it can still be simple. It can still be easy. And it's just about how to give people the best instructions for their hair type and texture, because it's going to be different for everyone. And I was really, really lucky on that day. I had clients who had relaxer, I had clients who were natural, and I had clients who were wearing wigs and weaves, so that I had a broad spectrum and color treated hair. So I was really able to put the product to the test and really kind of form some very strong opinions about it, all of which are very, very high. And one of the things that I loved about it was the instant response from every client to the feeling that they got when the products touched their scalp. And then also the fragrances. So that it has just been a wonderful experience, because now I can create an enhancement in the salon with the products, but they're able to take that experience back into their home. So that it's the idea that I can introduce something, because, you know, I've had to kind of upgrade it a little bit, you know, put them under the steamer, you know, give it a little extra shazam. And so, but with that extra shazam, I was also able to kind of talk to them about how to properly use the products for their hair types. Because one of the things, and Doris, I totally agree with you, that renewal shampoo, it's outstanding. One of the things that I do often remind people of with that particular shampoo is that I would qualify it as more of a clarifying shampoo, because it really does. And you mentioned that earlier, that it removes all of that debris and excess oils that are left behind. And someone who might be a little heavy-handed, because some of y'all are out there real heavy-handed. And so you need something that's gonna go down deep and irrigate that scalp, because you can't grow healthy hair from an unhealthy scalp. So this is the start to that. So that in getting that oxygen to the follicle is what keeps it alive and growing. So that is perfect. That rosemary, you feel the ingredients. So it's not just a matter of that. What I love though is the sort of relaxing contribution of the CBD. So that while shampooing, even when my shampoo assistant was working with me, she says, I'm getting relaxed just shampooing somebody else. So I thought that was pretty fun. And so I absolutely love that. And then going into that moisturizing conditioner, absolutely. What a great note that you made as well around this balance of moisture and protein. Because again, if our hair is 80% protein, you need it when the hair is damaged, but you don't need it if the hair is healthy, not as much. So we always tend to need a little bit of moisture, and your hair is like a sponge. Once it has enough moisture to fill it, it won't take anymore. So it's harder to over moisturize, but than it is to over proteinize. So that way you can put too much protein on and it'll start to have an adverse effect and cause your hair to get drier. So what's really great about this conditioner is that if you go under a dryer or a steamer, there's enough balance of the protein and moisture where you get really good benefits from it. So, and I actually, conversely, Doris, I actually found that was the most detangling of the products when I use it. I do a lot of silk presses, so that I'm working a lot with natural hair more than relaxed hair, and I found that was really a treat in terms of getting some of those detangling properties in. When I then moved over into the leave-in detangler, I actually, now, when you talked about the shine, now that I have to say, every step of the way, the shine comes after the shampoo, the shine comes after the conditioner, and the shine most definitely comes after the leave-in detangler. Where I was not as enthusiastic was with the detangling properties of the leave-in detangler. I find that if someone has excessively tangled hair or easy to tangle hair, that then it did not have as much slip as I would have liked. But it had enough. And I feel that depending on who uses it, what'll happen is they'll probably use too much of it or not use enough of it, because it does come out in a spray. And it's, again, one of these products where you don't need a lot. You just kind of have to know how to use it. So a lot of times what I would then instruct my clients to do is to make sure that they're taking manageable sections when they're going through their hair, because the product may not add more moisture. But then I said, well, let me switch it up a bit. Where I didn't feel like I had enough slip coming from the leave-in detangler, I then said, oh, let me add a little bit of this styling cream to it. So now, that styling cream, that's a little magic in a little tiny jar. And so what I love about that is sometimes the size of the package always lets you know how much you should really use. So from a consumer perspective, if something comes in a really tiny container, that means a little goes a long way. So, and that is definitely true when it comes to the styling cream. So I just took a little tiny bit and then I put it in and I emulsified. So that the key is to emulsify it into your hands and then, man down, sorry. And then, and then just kind of put it in and kind of evenly distribute it. And that is going to be hugely helpful. Now, again, that is if your hair is especially dry, especially damaged, or especially porous. Because if that hair needs that extra moisture and it needs that help to get that cuticle to smooth out, then that was very, very helpful. But don't overuse it. You will have unsatisfactory results because the essential oil content in that is very high for all of the right reasons. But if you overuse it, you may not get the results that you like. And lastly, I don't know what else to say about the oud, except that it is ooh-wee. Because that oud oil, I think it's so awesome because it is both for hair and body, and it is spectacular. So someone who has finer hair, instead of mixing a little bit of the styling cream for drier hair, I actually would do that with the leave-in, so that then that way you have some ways to kind of switch it up. So I'm still playing with it. I feel every client, it's just like going to a physician. None of us are ever exactly the same, but we all have similar problems. And so, and Wakanna seems to have come up with some really great solutions. And for those people who are tender-headed, by the time you've gone through this system, your scalp is so relaxed, you forgot all about it.
Yes. First of all, I am so excited to see you. You on stage. This is amazing. I didn't remember the name, but when I see your face, I said, oh my God, I know exactly who that is. And you are amazing. And I'm so glad that you've had the experience that you've had, so they'll believe somebody else other than me.
Right. No, I mean, you told no lies. It really, and the thing is that, I've worked with several different hair companies and helped to develop products over the last couple of decades. So again, having the right ingredients, I think that's why I was a bit more critical of the detangling, because I just would like a little bit more, but that's just because I would. But the one thing that I can say is, while you may be able to do a little cherry picking and maybe add something else that you have, at home, to, kind of enhance the product. As a foundation, it is absolutely solid. And as a full system, I would definitely use the full system because you actually get the most optimal results with the system.
Well, we're going to have to get you the other detangler because the experience I had on Saturday, Chris, I wanted to give up doing hair.
Okay. Well, but I need it. I'm ready.
That's how exhausted I was until it dawned on me, you got the product. But I think I just didn't want to use mine. Good. You know how you have that good back bar and then you have...
Yes, right.
And I didn't want to just spray it, but I said, you know what? I got to do this. I got to this is the test for this detangler. And I put it on and I let it set for a few minutes because I needed to rest a minute. But Chris, when I went back to it with the rat tail comb in, I just picked right through it. And it was
okay.
So we gotta get you the other one too. And your hair is amazing too. So just pick it up and help me get it on out there. Because like you said, each client could be different. Because that's how I tell people when they go and buy hair and they say, well, I thought this was human hair. I said, you know what? Every human is different. So if you got the same hair every time, you're getting some manufactured stuff. So I'm so glad Wakanna, they did the research.
Yes.
Every ingredient that's in this product, it is an ingredient that helps support the other.
Well, and I'll say this too, because I did have the one, I did my assistant's hair, and I asked her, and so I overused the product. I used too much of it, so it did come out a little heavy. And I asked, how did it feel? She says, well, when I wrote it the night before, the curls didn't seem to have as much bounce, but then when she got to work, they were fine. So what happened was that eventually her hair absorbed the oils. So that what I loved about that was that if someone does have an experience where it feels like it may be too heavy, that just give it some time and it actually will absorb in. So, yeah.
It's good to know. Well, you know what? I know Melissa just tickled pink in the background. You can't see her.
Oh, I am so tickled, guys. Listening to you guys. You guys should have your own podcast because this is I'm like just out the way right now. But there's some comments that I want to make sure you guys get to. One comment says, I absolutely love the Monday call. I'm using the products and can't wait to let the world see my hair grow back using the products. Somebody says, excellent content. There's another, Chris, loved your video with Shannon, learned a lot. So they're watching you, Chris, out there on Facebook. Someone wanted to know your name. They said your hair is amazing. So they are loving your hair, Chris. Woo-hoo.
Yes.
Then we have great information. Somebody says, yes, the oud is everything. Then we have another comment saying, this is wonderful. They're thanking you. There's people with questions. They're saying yes to your hair. I mean, this is lighting up right now. This is just going crazy. So let's kind of see what any questions we might have. Let's see here. Let's see.
And Melissa, while you looking up the questions, I just want to share with you guys and you also, Chris, I had my hair in the very top. I had lost my hair. And I was diagnosed with CCCA, and I don't know, you probably know what that is, but some of the audience may not know. And that is central, where your hair starts to go in the central part, and it start to spread out, which is centrifugal, that's the other C. And then cicatricial, meaning it was scar tissue, alopecia. And of course, I panicked because being a trichologist, I couldn't afford to lose my hair. So the ingredients that's in the hemp-powered hair oil, it took 8 months. But after 2 months, I started seeing some difference. Now, some people want their hair to grow overnight. That's not how it works. You got to have patience. It's not a miracle worker, but if you have a follicle there, it will work. And I'm living proof of that. So I took the hair journey and my hair is back. I was committed to the product. And see, that's another thing we don't commit to. I go in out of salons when we were allowed to go out, and visit. And I noticed the back bar of a lot of stylists. It's so many products on the back bar. I tell them, I said, this is a baby beauty supply with all open jars. You gotta be committed to something so you'll know what is working. I say you got a choir and you don't know who's singing. So I had to commit to the product so I would know. But I kept saying to Melissa, and she's such an awesome CEO, I said, Melissa, we need a system. One product, stylists, they're not going to really stay in tune. We need a system. Saving ourselves time, energy, and money, we got to get a system. She didn't stop until they worked out those ingredients, Chris, and came with the system. And I am so excited. And to see you on here today, I'm just tickled pink.
And you just came up with another acronym. You just said saving ourselves. So there's another SOS.
I love it. I love it. Hey, more comments over here. One says, I love it. Doris, you and Chris are awesome. Love the presentation and the products. My daughter Kenyatta is a cosmetologist. She loves the SOS system. And then someone's asking, so you have used the product on some with locks. So has anyone used the product on someone with locks? And how did you use the products on them? Anybody can answer that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you how I use them with locks. The hemp-powered hair oil, I'll take about a half an ounce to an ounce, depending on how long the locks. Now, Kathy locks, I would probably do an ounce of water with 12 drops of the hemp-powered hair. And then when I do the shampoo, I take and I wet the hair down really well with a slow water, not fast, because fast water just bounces off. So I slow the water force down, and then I take the shampoo and I just go down the locks. Just take like Chris was saying, enough that you can handle, and go down the locks and squeeze them. Just keep squeezing them. And when it's time to rinse, then I would take and rinse, a slow rinse. A fast rinse, water bounces off the locks. A slow rinse, it goes in, pulls out all of that debris, and just make it awesome. And again, clients love the smell. Then I would take the detangler and take enough in my hand and just spray down the shaft. Not trying to detangle nothing at that point, but I'm just trying to get some conditioner inside, and make sure that they take it home. They can take it home and do it in the shower, but it's absolutely amazing.
Wow, and there's some more questions. One's a comment that's just saying, hey, this presentation is amazing. Someone's kind of giving us a great meme saying, Mama Doris needed to rest. That client wore you out, Doris. That is funny, right? And someone's asking if there are two different leave-in conditioners. And so, guys, when we were actually working with the chemists and the formulators and trying to really come up with ingredients that we knew would be good based on what Doris had given us and some other research, we decided ultimately we came up with two different leave-in conditioners because, like Chris said, there may be one that may be more detangling. And then we did come up with actually two shampoos. And so, Chris, we're going to make sure we get you the alternative shampoo too, just so you can have both. And then the alternative conditioner, and then just give us feedback on which one might do more for your clients. And Doris, it's great to see that you use one of them. I don't know if it's the same one as he used, but there's one that has castor.
Doesn't sound like it.
It doesn't sound like it at all, right? One has castor oil, and then the other one is fragrance with lingonberry. So I think you use the lingonberry, Chris, I believe. But there's another one that has castor oil, and so we'll figure out which one that you guys have come up with the contest, which one works best or whatever. Y'all let us know so we can.
We'll let you know.
Let us know, okay? And that's great. So yes, there are two conditioners. There are two shampoos, just so everyone knows. Let's see, anyone else? How do you know when you've lost a hair follicle? Ooh.
Okay, you won't know when you've lost one.
Right.
Most of the time, you are 51% losing before you realize you've lost. But if you continue to see excessive amount of hair on the shoulder, in the shower, in the shampoo bowl, something is going on. You have telogen effluvium, if that's going on. But if you have an area of loss and there is a shiny skin, there's no fuzz, there's no stubbornness, that's usually is an indication the follicle is gone and there's no coming back. But if you got fuzz there and if you have little holes, little stubbornness, that's a chance that it could be just laying dormant, sluggish, sleeping, and it could be awakened with the proper ingredients, such as what we have. And you can only tell if there's DHT present through a biopsy, through a dermatology biopsy.
Yeah, and I'll just piggyback on that, Doris, because I think that what early detection is key to trying to save your strands, so that when you're starting to notice some thinning, even in minor ways, because by the time you get that sheet of ice that Doris was describing on your scalp, that means that there's no oxygen getting there. There's nothing happening, and even excessive exfoliation probably won't yield you very much results. The thing to keep in mind is there's two types of breakage. There's wet breakage and dry breakage. So, and understanding the difference between those two are very helpful. Dry breakage is when you actually just sort of touch your hair or comb it when your hair is dry, and then you lose pieces of hair. That type of shedding is actually the better of the two. Because that means that the hair is devoid of moisture. That means in some way it's either been overheated with tools, or you need to put a humidifier in your bedroom when you're sleeping to get more moisture in the air because it's too dry. Or you need to add more products like the Wakanna products to actually moisturize the end. A lot of times we focus a lot on the scalp, when we actually need to realize that this hair on the end, that's the oldest and driest because it's been with us the longest. And that's where we need to give it some attention. Wet breakage, on the other hand, is usually a result of something going on internally. So if there's been a hormonal change, it could be from birth control, it could be from pregnancy, it could be from high blood pressure pills, medications. Change of diet. You could have been a meat eater and decided, I'm gonna go vegan, and you cut out all this protein in your diet. Your hair is 80% protein. So if you instantly take out all of the protein and you don't have a supplement for that, that's gonna affect your hair. Typically what you'll notice is those are longer strands that come out with wet breakage. And that's something that you want to make sure that you pay attention to very closely, because that means something internally could be going wrong.
Exactly. Well put. And also, if you look at a strand of hair, like you were saying, the dry breakage, they're chipping away at the ends. If you look at a strand of hair, and I always tell people, take a white sheet of paper, lay the hair on a white sheet of paper, and if you see where it's thinning or the strands are splitting like this, you need that. Probably need a haircut too.
Right.
A little shaping will help that also. Just stop it. And as Chris said, add some moisture. You don't know what's going on. You know what you're not doing.
And take the time to actually monitor the results, so that do something consistently and see if you see a different result. And if not, then you may need to see a professional. There are professionals here. I studied trichology when I spent some time in London. Didn't go as far as Doris has gone with it, but those little nuggets that I was able to take away have been very, very useful. And just even understanding the difference between dry scalp and dandruff. So many people don't know that, and they'll buy products because they see their hair flaking, and they'll buy a dandruff shampoo when in fact, dandruff looks like cornmeal and dry scalp looks like corn flakes. So that when you actually are going to treat dandruff is related to an excessive amount of oil buildup and creates that very crummy looking flaking. Well, not flaking, but just sort of like excess oil scalp buildup mixed together. But when you have dry scalp, it's a flaking, and it actually needs moisture. So imagine that. You think you have dandruff, which is related to an excessive amount of oil, and then you use a shampoo that is intended to dry your scalp out, but you actually have dry scalp, and then you use a drying shampoo. So now you've not only dried your scalp out more, you've now dried your hair out too. So again, we're in a situation with Wakanna where these ingredients are designed for nourishing dry scalp. If you actually have dandruff, which most people of color do not, but if you actually have dandruff, then that is a totally different need for you.
And just to add to that, Chris, to let everybody know, dandruff is not contagious. So you guys know that. And like Chris saying, you have two types. You have seborrhea oleosis, which is your oily, and you have seborrhea sicca, which is your dry. And sometimes you have improper rinsing is disguised as either one. So we have to make sure that we exfoliate those pores to make sure we're deep cleansing them. So what we do have can get in and what we don't want can get out.
Right.
Wow. Well, guys, there's a few more comments. I know, Chris, I know you probably have clients there. I think you told me. Are you?
I asked them, I pushed them back a little bit. I didn't want to rush off.
Thank you. So there's a few more comments. One says, please start a podcast. They want you guys to start a podcast. The other comment says, Kenyatta is a natural hairstylist, and she says the products work well. So thank you, Kenyatta. Kendra says, is there a special or bulk price for hairstylists as far as the hairline or products? That's coming soon, right, Doris?
Yes, we're going to have the back bar size. Right now we have the retail size, but we're going to have the back bar size because we know as stylists, we want at least 16 ounces back there. So, 32 ounces and some 16, but 32 for the larger salons and gallons. But these are baby steps, you guys. We want Wakanna to be the household salon hold name for SOS, Saving Our Strand System. We cannot do that if you don't step up to the plate.
Well, I want to ask a favor of everyone, especially everyone who's listening, who are stylists. As you look at this system, one of the things that I want to encourage you to do is to actually look at it as a treatment. Look at it as something where you actually create extra value for it, and that you now become a value-added experience for their hair care. And then that allows you to create value in terms of how you price it. So because it becomes less about how much does the actual SKU or the actual the bottle product cost, and more about what am I willing to pay for a Wakanna experience? So that and you then master how to utilize the system to get optimal results, so that then that way you can charge appropriately, so that your investment in the product can pay off not only for your client but also for you. I think it's how you actually position it out the gate that is going to be critical.
And you know what, Chris? People actually come to you for the experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they pay for. Mm-hmm. So, like you said, you might as well start from the gate. That way, you don't have to go back and undo something. This is it. Right. My client on Saturday tipped me a great tip because of the experience that she had with the Wakanna system, and I let her know. She said, "Is this Wakanda?" I said, "No, Wakanna." she was trying to take it to Wakanda. So I'm excited, Chris, and I'm so glad that you joined us today. And maybe we could one day do that podcast. Who knows?
I would love to.
Here's some closing comments for you guys, because I think you're going to love this too. They're saying that this is so exciting, so powerful. They feel they're at a hair conference. They're asking if this is recorded. They're like, please make sure this is recorded, because they want to hear the replay. This is exciting, guys. I love it. And then someone just says, hey, I love the fact that you don't have to use a lot of the products. A lot goes a long way. Yes, it's recorded, guys. So we're super excited. Great comments, great feedback. They said this call is amazing. Oh my, education is on point. Awesome information. Thank you. Wow. Look at, I can just go on and on. They said this is a master class. Excellent point, Chris. So, hey, so I think they dropped the mic. So any closing words?
Chris.
Okay.
I'll allow you. You are our guest today.
Oh, okay. Well, I just want to say that I'm so glad to see Shannon pop her face in here. I know she was super busy earlier, and she's been such a blessing to me. And sometimes the universe works in mysterious ways, and just surviving the pandemic, as I call it, Wakanna has become a new source of hope for me, because it has provided me with a product and a resource that not only can help to nourish my business, but allow my clients to have an experience that is calming, while people are still on edge, sometimes still in the salon. So, and while being able to reach and tap into them with this one particular system with SOS, I'm also able to tap them on their shoulders with other things that Wakanna has to offer. So that allows me an opportunity to expand my business in ways that are very, very delightful. So I just want to say I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate being able to share my gift, and the universe is so powerful. And I had no idea, Doris, that you were going to be the person that I would share the stage with today. And it has been such a while. And I would share one quick story. Doris and I was at one of her shows, and there was a judge that didn't make it for a hair competition. And she pulled me to the side and she said, "I need a judge. Can you do it?" I said, "Absolutely." And I was able to jump in right there on the spot, and it was the best experience, and was welcomed back to be in that show every year after that. And so it's just a real treat to be able to jump in with Doris yet again for something that I can't wait to do over and over.
Well, Chris, I just want to say, when I seen your face, I said, hurry up and enlarge the screen. I am so
I know this big old fat face on the screen.
Okay. No, but you was in the But I just want to say, you just brought such a great, awesome experience today with sharing your knowledge. And that's what we need. We need more people like you. Because I know with people like you, stylists who are on here, we're going to take this to the next level. This is something that is needed. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there, but when you bring in this many great certified oils that has been tried, tested, proven, and effective, we can't lose. All we need is for people to come on here every Monday, and we're going to be spotlighting. We're going to start our Wakanna beauty bar. And I thought about the beauty bar when I thought about Cheers. You know that Cheers? Mm-hmm. Where everybody knows your name when you come into the beauty bar. That's what the beauty bar is going to be about. And I would love for you to come into the beauty bar as often, as many times as you want to.
Absolutely.
Share your knowledge. And I can't wait till we can get physically back together. So we can do some physical clothes again and put Wakanna out there the way they need to be. And I thank you again. And I'm sure Melissa and Kathy, all of the listeners, I just keep seeing the comments. So much, and stay warm and safe in Chicago.
Thank you.
Everybody stay warm and safe. Yes, for sure. Y'all dropped the mic. I don't have anything else to say.
Drop the mic today.
I'm not coming behind that.
We got people in tears right now. I mean, they're on the line right now trying to locate you guys. I mean, this is...
Oh yeah, I'm in. My Instagram is at the Chris Curse, and so it's THECHRISCURSE, and then my website is chriscurse.com. And coming soon will be my Wakanna page. So, and then I'll be able to start posting some more videos and examples of how I use it professionally, with tips on at-home use for people.
Great, awesome.
Exciting, right? Oh my goodness.
I know Shannon's probably smiling. She's been waiting for me to do this.
We look forward. We look so forward to it.
Me too.
Thank you, Melissa, for listening.
Thank you. Yes.
Thanks, Melissa.
Flexible and working with us and jumping on today. I mean, you have just really, really blessed us. We're super excited about the energy between you and Doris. I mean, this is literally a podcast in the making. Thank you, Shannon, for having the vision to bring Chris to us. So we are all excited, and thank you all for now, guys.
Okay.
Y'all drop the mic. We can't say much. Okay.
I know, right? Wakanna forever.
Wakanna forever. I love it.